Hello everyone, today we're going to make banana nut bread with chocolate chips. I love this recipe. It is my go-to. It's very moist, it's very delicious, and I think you're going to enjoy it. So if you're looking for a good recipe, check this out. I'm going to show you how I make mine. For our ingredients, we're going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We will also need 3/4 cups of brown sugar, 2 eggs that have been sitting at room temperature, 1/2 cup of softened butter. I'm using salted, but you can use unsalted. I'm also using 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/4 cup of chopped walnuts, 1/2 cup of milk chocolate chips. I'm also using 3 overripe bananas. You can see here they're pretty ripe. We're also going to need a piece of parchment paper and of course our bread pan and some cooking spray or baking spray that we're going to spray right in there. These are all of our ingredients. It's very simple, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to get started by preheating our oven at 350. To a food processor, I'm going to add all of my bananas. Now, you do not have to put them in a food processor. You can mash this up with a banana masher or whatever you have. Just get it nicely chopped up. That's how I prefer it. I don't like big chunks of bananas in my bread, so we're going to go with the food processor here. And this is about the consistency that you're going to need. I'm going to just clean the blades here, make sure we get everything. Okay, so I'm going to take our softened butter and I'm going to empty it into a bowl. I'm also going to throw in the brown sugar. We are going to beat this with wired whisks. You can also use a hand whisk, but I'm going to use an electric mixer. It makes things a little bit easier. You want to do this for a good 2 minutes. After about 2 minutes, we are going to scrape down the bowl. Just make sure everything gets nicely incorporated. And we're going to keep going for an additional 2 minutes. We want this to get nice and fluffy and to change color. We're going to go ahead and throw in our eggs and mix those in. I'm using this blender at a medium speed. So let's go ahead and blend it all together. Again, I'm going to take the time to scrape down the bowl and continue beating this until we get a really nice fluffy texture. Okay, you can see here that this has become really creamy. And I'm going to go ahead and add in the vanilla extract at this point. Okay, once that's nicely incorporated, we're going to add in our flour. But first I'm going to take the baking soda and the salt and give it a little mix. And then I'm going to pour this into a sieve just to make sure there's no lumps. We want this to be smooth. So I'm going to go ahead and sift it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and blend this with the hand mixer just until things come together. You don't want to overbeat it here. I would say about a minute. Once we get it here, we're going to add in the banana puree. Again, we're going to go ahead and mix this with the blender for about another minute, just until it comes together. Just like this, nice and fluffy, and it's all mixed in. Scrape down the bowl and make sure everything's folded in well. And we're going to go ahead and add in our chocolate chips. Now I'm going to reserve some to sprinkle on top. That way we know that there's chocolate chips in here. Same thing with the walnuts. I'm going to reserve some for the top, just so we can sprinkle on top. Mix this in with your spatula, just until everything's come together. You can see here the batter is very fluffy, it's whipped, it has a great texture. Let's spray our pan with some of that baking spray or cooking spray and put in our parchment paper. This is going to help to make it release very easy. Trust me, you don't want to skip out on that. Let's pour our batter in. The batter is beautiful. It's nice and thick. And let's get this as smooth as possible on top. I'm just going to try to level this out. It does not have to be perfect. Just make sure you kind of get it nice and smooth. Okay, we're going to take our reserved chocolate chips and we're going to sprinkle those right on top. And I'm going to sprinkle in the rest of the walnuts as well. Not only does it look pretty like this, but then people who are going to eat it know exactly what's in it. So that's why I like to put some on top as well. We're going to bake this in a preheated oven, 350 degrees for 60 minutes. And just like that, it is done. Beautiful. It smells fantastic. See how easy this pulls out? It's just so perfect. All right, let's get it out. I'm not even going to wait for this to cool. I like to eat it hot, but you can give it about 10 minutes to cool down. Very fluffy and very moist. I think you're going to love this recipe. If you've been looking for a good banana nut bread, try this out. I think it's great. We enjoy it. And I hope you enjoy it as well. Don't forget to like if you like my video, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon so you don't have to miss any of my videos.